Welcome, everybody, to the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. I'm Eduardo, joined, as always, well, depending, but this time I'm joined by the lovely Noah, who will go through our run of show with all of you tonight and look at the confetti on screen anyways. We know, glad to be here with all of you. It is a delight.
Lordy Lord, this is great to see everybody here throwing those stickers on us. So we are here on our pre-show. It's 5:40 p.m. Pacific time. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays we do that. Then we have the show at 6 p.m. Pacific time on weekdays. And after the show tonight, we're gonna have Jacob here. So Eduardo, take us through it.
Right. As many of you know, Silent Hill Ascension, socially interactive series where all of you collectively shape and experience its ever-evolving story. We collaborate and compete with others to try to make the choices you want to see occur. When each decision ends, that choice becomes canon. You are essentially shaping the show as we go. It is the version of the show that everybody shares, sees, and experiences. That canon story is shaped by you, the participating audience, every day. And we definitely had one of those moments. That setup scene is going to be put up by production. But essentially, this is where Eric confronts the mistakes in his past in the other world one last time. Please enjoy.
I know what you did. You hurt people.
I had no choice.
Daddies aren't supposed to do bad things.
Faith, listen.
You said we couldn't be a family together. You, me, and Mommy. I just want to go home.
We will, sweet. All of us. Faith. Faith? Faith!
Hernandez? How the hell are you, man?
Toby.
Whoa, go easy.
It's really good to see you.
You see me every day. How's the family? You and Rachel good?
We're getting there. But what really matters is Faith.
Good. You know, we've had our differences, but I'm glad you guys stuck it out. Family first.
Listen, Toby. About what happened back then. At the steel mill. I'm sorry. It was my fault, and I never should have let you take the fall for it. I shouldn't have listened to them. I should have stood up. For both of us.
Jerry's gone. You ruined my life. All because you couldn't grow a fucking backbone.
Toby, No! Please!
Welcome back, everybody, as we see all of, I guess, the collective sigh here of relief, so to speak. But those were Eric's final moments. Eric was redeemed, but not all redemptions are equal.
Right. Way to go, Eric. Literally, quite a way. So, first of all, I don't even know where to start. I'm shooketh. I'm shaken. I'm trembling, and I really did not see this coming. I have to tell you the truth, everybody. Even though I coordinated the script, I completely didn't see it coming that Eric was like had something to do with the accident proactively. And also, I do think it's not fair to blame this guy or that guy, or, all of them are to blame together. Like, there's not one person to blame, it's multiple people to blame. And this is a mistake. Now, we did see him, meet our lovely entangler. And I love Eric's face is like, wait a minute, this is not the Morgie. Oh no! And then it's kind of symbolic that the way the entangler takes a life is using an umbilical cord, because usually that's something you start a life with. But maybe the end with the entangler is only the beginning in the other world.
I mean, it was the end of Joy, it was the end of Eric, it's maybe the beginning of something else, but by the way, stone cold faith right there, just like, this had to be done.
Yeah,
and,
listen. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. And Faith clearly said daddies aren't supposed to do bad things. And, I'm sure a lot of fathers would tend to disagree, and some children of fathers. I think doing bad things is kind of actually integral to being a father, depending to what extent, yeah? But, she was not having it, and she was done with him.
No, but that's the thing, right? Like, I think, like, part of Eric was, like, he really identified, out of everything, Eric identified as I want to be a good father to Faith.
Right.
And you can interpret it a bunch of ways there, but, like, look how Faith repaid him, essentially. Really in kind. Yeah,
that was really a low blow. It was a tough one. I would like to say that it was a burn, but the immolator wasn't there. It was more like a strangle or a choke. Anyway, I want to talk about Faith and Hope, because that's the reason we saw the harrowing scene that we did see. So the decisions and the endurance scenes and puzzles all contribute to whether a character will face redemption, suffering, or damnation in Silent Hill Ascension. So their fate is decided across the length of the canon run, and the character's hope needs to be high enough for them to survive a crucial story moment. So this was one of those times, we had Britt, we had Eric. It was quite a week for us, and we saw our Fate and Hope system in play yet again.
Well, the big thing there was kind of the hope, right? We say that, like, the character hope needs to be high enough. You kind of saw that with Toby, and in a way we saw, it is kind of poetic that Toby's also the representation of low hope here again. Because with Britt, essentially, both characters were redeemed, right? They had redemption paths. But in the end, Britt had high hope, as the audience really wanted her, loved her, made sure she was protected and all that. Carried fruit. Eric, not so much, with low hope. And that was, like, the difference is you almost got, like, the sort of fake out, right? It's like Eric's redeemed. With Toby, you're like, maybe things didn't end so badly. But then, you remember, oh, wait, he was being entangled, right? Yeah. So and that comes because, essentially, he kind of made his amends. But it doesn't change what occurred. That, he's making his amends, but it kind of wasn't enough in the context of what happened, and he wasn't trying to, build towards, I guess, the future in that sense. And as a result, it has no future.
It's a day late and $1 short at this case, and it was like really that scene was all kinds of twists, and it was an emotional roller coaster. 1 minute you're seeing our Tobes here, and it's a comforting, closure moment, and the next thing it kind of gets roped in it, Yeah, well, literally roped in. And that's the thing, like, but you could, honestly, for me, there's a part of this, like, I wonder if the mystery's truly solved, because we did see, like, Eric's like, I kind of listened to someone. And, with Norrin, I'm like... Yeah, he said they told me to do it. And then Toby is like, you had to be a wimp. You had to not have a backbone.
So there might be like a little more to solve here in Pennsylvania, right? But we have some time. We have some scenes coming. Now, well, here's the thing. We got two kind of characters still left in play, so to speak, Astrid and Rachel. Our decision closing today is actually where they're both together, but it's Astrid's decision here. That's on screen. Noah, if you could do the honor of reading that for audience.
Yes, I would love to. So, how will Astrid reply to the stranger? And yet, this is a fate decision here. So, one option is we will work towards earning that privilege. The other option is we are not worthy of our children. And last option is our children belong to us from the start. With children like this, who needs enemies?
Oh, yeah. Who wants these? But right now, the audience is very much on, like, pretty conclusively on we will work towards that privilege, like a pretty hefty advantage, I'd say. So I think that's what we're going to see tonight. We got 12 minutes. Audience could surprise me, but I think that's what we're going to see tonight based on, time left and what we will. So interesting to see that we will work towards earning that privilege. But as you said, do you really at least Faith? She's
Yeah.
Chompers was kind of friends with the immolator, kind of like a doggy. Faith is another level, I feel.
Right. She's also, I think she's a little bit older. So maybe it's in the beginning, you're play with your little immolator, you fetch, but it keeps not coming back because it's burnt. You keep throwing and he keeps toasting it. But with Faith, maybe she was also I don't know, maybe she was jumping rope with the Entangler, just 2 years earlier. Because Orson is a little bit younger. Sorry, Chompers. I don't want to dead name.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Chompers with dog. To be fair, at some point, the doggy got a little bit of a tasty mede. A little bit of a sampler, but didn't get our saddled wet man. So different kids, different toys, different relationship with their kind of pets, childhood companions, imaginary friends, whatever you want to call them.
Familiars, maybe.
The monsters behind the bed are very much in cahoots with the children, that's for sure. Now, let's talk, though, about Astrid for a bit, because not to minimize what happened to Eric. That was a pretty harrowing scene, right? But let's focus on the people who are still alive, so to speak.
Yeah, let's focus on the living.
Right. So Astrid's character profile's on screen. Thank you so much, production. Noah, if you could run us through that one.
Yeah, sure. So Astrid, our girl, general sentiment, strong redemption, positive hope. She might see a nice fate in the end. Top decision. What will Astrid do with evidence of cause guilt? And y'all decided to turn it over to the police, which was the redemption option. And the most heated decision, and I don't mean immolator hit, was how will Astrid react to Haugen's confession? And as you know, we all chose that she will profess her love, which was the redemption option, launching ship Haugrid.
Yeah. And, they're on an off, the on again, off again. They're on the off again phase. Look, that kind of felt like I had to deal with my child style of breakup. I believe happiness is possible.
Right. Listen, you're very, very optimistic, Eduardo, because we have been through a lot here. But, much like our Astrid, you still have high hopes.
Yes. No, very much so. And, we saw Carl, we saw Britt. Honestly, the Johanssons aren't doing too bad, right?
Right. Yeah. So the Brit clapping ending, I dig that, That was a good way to go. It wasn't getting entangled by your best friend that you blamed for killing everybody.
The thing with Astrid, right? The difficult part is she doesn't know what happened to her family, right? As our screen confetti's up, essentially,
the confetti is out of control today.
but the thing, right, is Rachel's aware of what's happening with her family, right? It's these horrible, or the town. It's whatever, they got ritualed out. Who cares? Whereas with Astrid, it's I don't know what happened to Brit. I don't know what happened to my dad. They kind of but she doesn't lose hope. She's like, look, I still got Orson. I still got Olivia. There's still Lejo somewhere in the background. Nils, you know what? Not so bad at the end there. She still like keeps going. It's not, I think for Astrid in particular, it's not easy because she doesn't know. And she's a character who dedicated her life to knowing. So being in the like kind of the fog literally is really difficult. Whereas Rachel seems like, oh, I got the answers, I can get this done. But they're like basic, let's be honest, Hope's Junction is really Hopeless Junction. Whereas like it turns out still Alan's getting the job done. So as a result, in the current decision, right, because somebody pointed out, right, like the stranger asked Rachel, so why is Astrid answering the question? Well, one of the things is you can check out the scene to get the answer to that. That'd be a good start. And don't worry, it's not far off. That's why I can tell you that. And you know, like, she's taking a little bit more action. Astrid was kind of like on the sidelines for a lot, but like she's starting to take a much more active presence. Like Detective Astrid is gone. Now it's like she's taken from Olivia, right? Like we're more into the like action sequences, like
yeah, she's in her John Wick era now.
I was like, is it John Wick? Is it Last Action Hero? That's a difficult decision.
Charles Bronson.
Yeah, there's at least something. She's into it, right? She's like, no, I want to get things done right, and like I'm willing to, like that moment with Nils, right, where she's like, you know what? It's not Brit's fault. It's mine. It's of the way I've treated her. She's like very much on that path. And I find it interesting how our audience finds the redemption option as we don't make that public anymore.
Right.
So it is kind of like we can celebrate a bit more of those because now it's like, oh, you, the audience, are going in that direction. You want this to happen. So like, and you know, as we're coming to kind of like the end of our canon run, it's going to be, those last decisions are going to matter.
We are. So that's something, you know, that's a sad truth that we all must face. You know, we are coming to the end of the canon run. Make your impact. You know, our next episode is starting very soon. So, Eduardo, would you mind if I recap?
Go for it. Take it away.
Okay, these last few days we suffered many losses. Well, 2. To be precise, and some strangers that we don't care about. But we lost our Brit. We lost. And actually, I'm not even. I do take Eric.
No, I like it because the strangers are audience members, literally. So it's kind of funny.
Well, you know, I love you guys, but you know, this is part of the show business. You know, it will chew you up and spit you out. Well, okay. So I'm taking Eric's death very seriously. I'm not controlling the stickers on screen, so I'm not trying to lighten it up. Like, this was a big deal for me, especially I love Ian, you know, he was a great, you know, part of this adventure for us, and I hope he rests in peace with our finger buddy in the other world. Now, make sure to make an impact on the current decision before it closes, and Eduardo, I'm taking it back to you now.
Yes, because unfortunately you're going to be gone because we'll have Jacob in the post show. So we will talk about a few different subjects with you, the audience. Of course, for our story, please enjoy the scenes tonight. We will obviously discuss the narrative as usual on Friday. Otherwise, all I have to wish for you, the audience, is a wonderful time watching the show. So I will see you back in the post show with Jacob. But in the meantime, have a wonderful time with our scenes.